joining us. It's time to tell you about debating. The ability to debate, to present persuasive arguments, pierce the logic of others, and turn the tables against withering cross-examinations is one of the truest tests of one's intellectual capacity. Not. Yet we often relegate it to politicians and lawyers. This is unfortunate because debate has the ability to bring people together as a society, help hash out differences of opinion, and make stronger arguments based on reason and compromise. Debate also has brought our next guests together. They are the champions for the American English Debate Competition, and they are here to share all about their experiences and upcoming plans for the rest of the year. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Okay, you have to speak because waving doesn't help the listening audience, but that's pretty good.
Well, they're on TV as well.
Oh, are they? Oh, because of YouTube. But can you see them all the way down there waving?
We can.
Oh, so maybe because
they should wave again.
Oh.
But wave and say hello.
All right, there you go. So I want to have them introduce themselves one at a time. So we've got Odell sitting here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Odell Marsh, National President and Coach.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
Right. All right. Next. Who is next?
Greetings, Jamaica. I'm Renil Clark.
All right. So that's Renil and Odell and.
Right.
Greetings, Jamaica. My name is Marklon Bedward.
All right.
All right.
Marklon, and then that means Miguel.
Yeah. Greetings, Jamaica. My name is Miguel Edmondson.
All right. Democratizing whatever on your shirt. So before we delve into talking about the competition,
May I tell you?
we done the intro. What is the American English Debate Competition, though, Odell?
First of all, I need to put context to it. So JCI stands for Junior Chamber International. So there are 4 regions: the Americas, the Middle East and Africa, Asia Pacific, and Europe. And for us here in JCI Jamaica,
You said there are 4 regions?
yes, so the 4 regions are the Americas, Africa and the Middle East, Asia and Pacific, and Europe. Jamaica falls in JCI Americas, which consists of North, South, Central, and West Indies. And so every year we have various conferences we attend. This year we were in Santa Marta, Colombia, and we participated in the debating competition along with public speaking and a couple of others. We, for the 3rd year since 2021, we have now been able to be successful in retaining the debating championship for the English-speaking section of that competition. There's also a Spanish section. And so we faced 3 teams out of 6 teams that were in the competition this year, and we emerged victorious. We faced Brazil, Dutch Caribbean, and West Indies to become the winners this year.
West Indies?
Yes, so the West Indies, in terms of JCI context, it's all the countries in the Eastern Caribbean that makes up that block, along with Guyana. Jamaica, at one point, we were a part of the West Indies up to 2012 when we left and became a national organization ourselves, meaning that we stand on the same level as West Indies, North America, Canada, and the other national organization that exist. So there are 120 of us that exist across the world right now.
Okay. I mean, so many questions, right? About that whole that whole development of becoming being out of West Indies.
Yeah.
And so you're saying it's West Indies is all of the
Eastern Caribbean
countries and Guyana, which is not in the Caribbean at all, but Guyana is a political Caribbean,
yes,
but not geographical Caribbean.
Yeah.
So
South America.
we no longer use West Indies? That's what you're saying?
No.
We're no longer part of the JCI West Indies.
Oh, for that?
Yeah.
I see. Clarity is important, eh?
Yes.
All right. So what was the topic?
So we had it's not like regular debate that we do. And so what he's done is at least 2 weeks before the conference starts, you're given a list of about 10 topics. And so we have 10 motions that we were given. And so we had to now prepare for all 10 because we weren't sure which one would be given until 15 minutes before the competition. You'll be told which motion you're going to have and which position you're going to take. And so you just have to prepare yourself for all 10 and from either position, either proposing or opposing. And funny enough, lucky or unlucky for us, all 3 times that we played this year, we were opposing the motion that we were given. And when we placed in the final, the motion for the final was world peace can only be achieved through strong economies and a well-educated population. And we were opposing that, and we faced JCI West Indies in the final.
Okay.
And that was really not necessarily a tough one, but we faced tougher opponents in the past, but we managed to represent ourselves quite well and came up victorious.
Well, clearly, I mean, you don't have to be so coy about it. You did beat them. So even if they were a tough opponent, they weren't tough enough. But all right, let's get somebody else to tell me a little, to talk us through your preparation for those 10 topics. Who's going to come? He's going to go, and one of you will go.
Trying to decide who should be the
This
second
one
speaker.
is Renil. Oh, second speaker. Very funny.
Right.
You were always second speaker?
No, I
Are
was
you-
actually the captain this year and last year.
Okay.
So the very first year when we went out to represent Jamaica, that would have been 2021. Odell was our captain. Markland was first speaker, and I was second speaker. And
This
then
time around you were
captain.
Yes, what when you speak?
First and last.
Captains always speak first.
First and last, yeah.
And that means he took you're the rebuttal
rebuttal.
time.
Correct.
Wonderful. So take us through the we were trying to figure it out earlier, and Raquel was telling us that there's first speakers, well, whatever, and then that one person does the rebuttal, so clearly we're
Right.
making the point. But then there's the issue of the time. How much time do you get as the first speaker?
So as the first speaker, I have 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
So 2 minutes to introduce my team, to outline the points that both speakers will be divulging further on, and add whatever witty thing I need to add, plus definition. And then they each have 3 minutes to
That's
speak.
short.
And I
Yeah,
have
2
another
minutes
2
is
minutes,
short.
yeah.
Yeah.
So world peace and whatever else other things he said
Right.
about world peace was your topic,
Right.
but you had to prepare for 10.
Yes.
How do you prepare for 10 topics, not knowing how to, how do you divvy up your time and properly prepare for 10 topics?
Right. So the formula we've been using since 2021 is we each gather 3 points for and against for all 10 motions. So when we meet with a total of, that would be 60 points each person. And so we go through each moot, all the pros, all the cons. We debate amongst each other to see which ones are best. And then we select the best 3 or 4 for each stance for each moot.
Okay, what is the mood?
All right, so a moot would basically be the topic that we're debating. Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
why I
what-
asked her
so
to
what
what's
you
the
say?
mood.
Right. Oh,
Ah.
I'm just getting it. Slow day for me.
It is.
Um,
And that's quite
the-
fine.
So when so when people say moot point, they're really sort of being redundant, because if the moot is the point, then saying a moot point is a tautology, right?
No. Although I think moot point would be saying that you are being redundant. I think it's right. Yeah, I think it depends on the context.
Have
Does
I
it?
ever
We
heard
might have to
moot
check
point?
that first.
Yes,
we
of
might have
course.
to check that one
Refer to this a
further.
moot point. You've never heard that?
Yeah, I've heard.
I
I've heard
can't
it
recall.
used.
Oh,
I've heard it used.
You need to expand the people you speak to.
In foolery?
You need to speak to some debaters.
Yeah. I've heard people say the idea. People say, "Oh, that's a moot point."
Right. Yeah, I think it's saying that it's a dead point or it's redundant. I guess we'll have to do some research.
Oh well,
Well,
I'd like to know
if
because
it's redundant, there's
if-
no need for me to have a conversation.
if the moot if the moot is the point, then saying a moot point is like saying reverse back.
Yeah.
Right. So that's so I'm saying. So if
He has this look on his face like,
Moot
what he
point.
talking about?
Now I'm following.
Rennie.
You are.
All right. So thank you. I need somebody else now, Markland or Miguel, to come give me 2 of the points that you guys did, because you say you were opposing
Right.
the idea that, what's the topic again?
World peace.
And what are the other things? World peace and what?
Something about economy?
World peace can
Let me see.
only be achieved by strong
Strong.
economies.
No, no, I read
and
it myself.
so it's
It's on
actually
his phone.
global peace can only be achieved with strong
Odell
economies.
not even know the right thing.
I mean, world and global synonyms.
All right.
So-
Global peace can only be achieved with strong economies and well-educated populations, and you were to oppose that.
Right.
Give me one of your first point to oppose that.
So before we went to the competition, I remember we were up like maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the morning before the
Oh,
competition.
he's very determined to give me the backstory. I
Yeah.
really wanted to.
But it's very important.
Well, he's taking us somewhere, isn't he?
Yeah, okay. So let's go.
It's a journey.
I'm trying to be efficient with the time we have, but sure.
Okay,
give
I'll
us the
jump into it. So basically, the strongest point that jumped out to me was that world peace doesn't really exist as long as like an overruling power in the world actually dictates that. So, for example, like a world superpower, if they don't say, "All right, you did this, you did that," there will be no peace in those countries. So, as first speaker after Renil, my job would be laying the foundation for the rest of the argument. So my main argument was that it's really a fallacy to say global peace when someone else who might be more superior than another nation
Gets to determine that.
determine that. So basically, that's what the main point was of the whole debate for us.
Which one are you? Okay, you are Markland, so that means Miguel is left. So so you said the notion of global peace itself is ridiculous because then that gets determined by one person and not everyone in the globe.
Right.
Clearly, I'm going to have to join the team next year because I can articulate the point well. All right, what else? Second point, and then I'll ask Miguel to share what was the final point so that we hear from all of you before we jump into our little game.
Right. So mainly the second point is as first speaker, I gave examples. So I really argued 1 point. So as a first speaker, we got 3 minutes. So
Okay.
giving different exampents within the world. As
So
to
having
how-
now given your 1 point, is
Right.
what you're saying, you may go and the other point comes.
Yes.
We have debaters in the house, folks.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So-
a final point. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
You called me a point. So
What was the final point that you made?
You're talking to a guy with bad memory, so that's the first drawback. But I think one of the major points that I made was strong economies can lead to global peace, and I think I hinted at if these existing strong economies already exist and there's no peace within that country, how can we then determine that they're able to help build out like world peace globally, or we can attribute world peace or a level of peace in existing countries to strong economies. If it doesn't exist in their world, how can we say it will exist in ours?
Okay. I'm not sure I follow, but it
You're not
sounded
following?
like it would make sense to somebody who was keeping points and score and so on in a whole system. How did you get involved with this?
How I get involved in debating? Okay, so
It's going to be like a long backstory. Or something?
not necessarily. You see, your questions are a bit ambiguous. Yeah,
How did you get involved with this activity?
this activity. So our now president just asked me, "Have you ever debated before?" And yes, I debated back in my past life at my church at the Power Faith Ministries International. And just from there, it was history. He just said, "Okay, you're on a debating team," and just like that.
I know you're a champion.
Right? Right?
Look at that. All right. Well, congratulations to the. Is this the full complement of the team, or are there
Right.
more? Okay, so now that the competition is over, what happens? Oh, it's
Okay,
not
not
over.
over.
All right, well, come give us the rest of it. And then, what happens now that you've won? You are the champions of the Americas.
Of the Americas. So we head off to Zurich, Switzerland in November for the World Congress and the World Debating Championship. And so we will be facing the other area champions in Zurich for the global title. This will be our third go at it, and we're hoping the third time will be the charmer. The first time we made it to the finals, we placed second. We were narrowly beaten by Australia. And then last year we made it to the semifinals. So this time around we have
Who beat you last year?
Ireland. Ireland beat us and they went on to winning the competition. So we have been doing our game plan. We've been looking at how they debate and all that to ensure that we can match their style and ensure that we can come out victorious this time around. So
All
we're preparing to go to Zurich, Switzerland in November this year.
Oh, okay. And who's paying for all of that?
Well, we are going to be doing some sort of fundraiser to raise the funds. We're also looking to see sponsorship from corporate Jamaica to assist us in making this trip a possibility and a reality for us.
So if you win, you get money.
Oh no, we don't get money, but it's good publicity for Jamaica and for the organization on the whole.
Well, I guess, and so that people know that it's more than just
Just music
Runner.
and food and runners.
Right.
even though people should know that by now, but it's always good to remind them.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
Excellent. Congratulations. So,
Thank you.
as you continue to, you had a question?
No, I'm just asking, are they going to debate?
Well, yes, because as they continue to practice, we're offering you a chance to really sharpen the skills this evening. So we've got Raquel and Kathia who are going to be our judges, and the criteria of the judging,
And they
what they're
come
going to
with
judge, I
some
will tell you.
experience,
I'll
don't
tell
they?
you shortly. Yes. You mean Raquel and Kathia
And
come with some
Kathy, they come with
experience.
some experience.
You come with some experience as a
You just gonna
debater.
leave her out like that?
Yes, as a debater.
Gosh, man.
Okay, you're a debater yourself. Kathia is maybe an all-rounder, so maybe she doesn't need the experience. She's just
She just
fantastic
good like
on
that.
her own, you know.
She can
Raquel.
stand strong.
All right. So here's the thing: you're gonna split yourselves in two groups. There are four of you, so that's a very easy number to determine. The captain and the coach can't be together.
Right.
No, so you have to sort of go on two different sides, and then what's gonna happen is you're gonna.
They're looking at each other like, who should I go at?
What's gonna happen is I'm going to tell you the moot. That's it.
Right.
Moot is employees' social media accounts should be monitored. Employees' social media accounts should be monitored, and this is what you're going to do. You are going to give 3 reasons why you disagree, but you have to start with "I couldn't disagree more." That's one side. Whichever one, you can decide who will take it, and then the other group should give 3 reasons why they agree, but you have to say "I couldn't agree more" when you're giving your 3 points. So each group will make 3 points. Addressing the moot, employees' social media accounts should be monitored.
Right.
You can pick now. One group has to pick. I couldn't disagree more. Who is that?
All right. So let's hear what. We're going to take a break, have them sort that out,
And then we'll come back. We start.
Right. This is love, folks.
Relay for Life is back this Saturday, June 10. You're invited to Walk for Life. Be a part of Relay for Life presented by the Jamaica Cancer Society, walking together with hope. This Saturday, June 10, 6 p.m. at the Police Officers Club, 34 Hope Road. Join them as the society will pause to remember those who lost the fight to cancer and cheer on those who are still winning. If you want to register to be a part of the Walk for Hope, call 876-927-3317 or 301-0346. Registration ends Friday, June 9. Relay for Life, walking together with hope. Saturday, June 10, beginning at 6 p.m. through the night until 6 a.m. on Sunday. The highlights will be on the family station, Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
Washing the blood of the Lamb.
This is Drive Charm Entertainment Choice on the family station Love 101. So while the debaters get themselves ready, I'm going to tell you what's going on for the weekend. And Universal Center of Truth celebrates Founders Day with the University Singers. Happens on Sunday. And we're trying to connect with Jermaine McKenzie, who should tell us more about this event. He's a member of the board of the Universal Center for Truth. And if we have him, we'll go. Do we have him? Okay, welcome, Jermaine. Hello?
Hi, good evening. Hi, Kalando. How are you?
I am doing well. And your church is a Center for New Thought, it says. Explain what that is.
The Universal Center for Truth for Better Living. We're celebrating our 49th anniversary as part of the Universal Foundation for Better Living, started in Chicago by the Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman. And on June 11, we're just celebrating that founding, celebrating our founder with the University Singers at the Philip Sherlock Center for the Creative Arts on the Mona campus.
All right, and what's the benefit concert in Adolf? Yes, so you're Founders Day, and you're gonna raise funds with this concert to do what?
So we have been, especially through COVID, expanded our youth ministry by also including persons in the wider community. The church is located on Collins Green, and every year we have a back to school drive where we provide tablets, influenced by the COVID experience, but still providing tablets, book bags, stationery, etc., for young people. And so we've been motivated to expand an area of our campus where our church is, to develop and build out a youth annex so that we can be more targeted in the support that we're providing to our young people, both within our congregation and in the wider community. So in addition to some of the tangibles that we do provide on an annual and semesterly basis, as well as aid to persons pursuing school, high school, and as well as the tertiary level, we also provide workshops in Bible and different aspects of education, empowerment, capacity building, career building through our youth program that we call Youth in Truth. It also attracts not just young people from the local space, as I shared, but also internationally, because some of our programming also exists online.
All right. I mean, that's like perfect guest. One question in, you talk of the whole thing. All right. Quickly remind people when, where, how they can get tickets.
So tickets, you can call our church office 978-1143. That's 978-1143 for tickets. Or you can just come down to the Philip Sherlock Center at the UM Mona campus. We will have tickets at the front of house. If you want to join us for church 10:30 a.m. on Sunday morning, you'll also be able to enjoy an excellent service, our Sunday worship celebration, and you'll be able to also get tickets there right after church.
Brilliant. Thank you. When is the concert again? The concert is going to be held at the Philip Sherlock Center on the UA campus on what day?
Sunday, June 11th. So tomorrow, Sunday, you'll be able to celebrate with us and the University Singers at 5 p.m. at the Philip Sherlock Center. 5 p.m., June 11th at the Philip Sherlock Center, Universal Center for Truth for Better Living, and the University Singers in concert.
All right. Thank you so much. Jermaine McKenzie, one of the board members of the board of the Universal Center for Truth, on that concert. Eden City and Divine Prescription Bible School of Health is hosting a virtual gospel medical missionary evangelism training starting on Sunday. It's a 6-week training program. And if you want to know more, if you want to get more information on where to register, you can reach out to them on WhatsApp at 876-337-1218. That's 876-337-1218. Our upcoming event is sponsored by SpurOpen.com, which is a Jamaican online platform designed to simplify online payments for charities, churches, business organizers, and micro business owners. To register your events, go to SpurOpen.com/events and click the button that says Get Started Now. Registration is free, and your event doesn't even have to be a paid event. Do we go straight to your world of music? Well, we do that, and I'll tell you the R&B tracks that we want to add. You should add to your playlist as we get ready for the debaters. Kiki shared Mo Better, Roddy Corrence featuring Chrisette Michelle, No Greater Love, and Gene Moore, Apart. Kelly Price, Every Time. Those are the tracks to add to your playlist. And are we going to get the debaters? Maybe you can play one of the tracks in the meantime while we.
Yeah.
No. Right, yeah. All right, those are the tracks. So the debaters have to here are the criteria. Must use the statement when they're starting. I couldn't agree, or I couldn't disagree, or I couldn't agree more. The reasoning must make sense, which is clearly very subjective, and they must provide 3 strong points. Again, very subjective, but. This is not a real debate like they're accustomed to. So we'll see how well they do under the non-real debate, these real debaters who are preparing themselves to go to Zurich later this year. Okay, so we got our teams.
And time allotted? Yes?
They have like a minute.
Oh, a minute?
For each team. That's what we do. Each team or each speaker.
Each speaker
has
minute and a half?
A minute and a half.
Minute and a half.
To make their point. So
right.
Tell me who the teams are. So who is
you're the judge.
Who is I couldn't agree more. The names?
Renil Clark and Mark
Renil and Markland.
And we are 4.
And you are couldn't agree more?
Hey.
And then clearly, Miguel and Odell are not for it, so you couldn't disagree more. Miguel and Odell. So who's gonna go first? Thank you very much. So Miguel and
Y'all teaching him today.
you said couldn't agree more. That's Renil and Markland. That means you're first. Renil, sorry. Renil and Markland.
So take the stand
first.
quickly. Take the
Yes.
stand.
And
Okay.
Miguel and Odell. will
So we
be-
should go one after the other.
Yeah.
Yes. Couldn't. How does it work?
It's usually one. You usually alternate.
Oh, then fine. We'll do it your way. So who's gonna go? So Renil first on this side, and then who's first on the opposing side? Odell first.
All right.
And it's a minute and a half. And the judge, you guys have the time. Our judges are Kathia and Raquel.
So
With
look this
no
way.
particular qualifications in debating. Well, except Raquel, so she's a former debater. So so you have to face the judge. Well, turn to the camera
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
the mic. So the topic is, or the moot, employees' social media accounts should be monitored. Are you ready, Renil?
Should be.
Judge, tell him that you're ready.
All right.
Mr. Speaker, adjudicators, Jamaica, the proposition this afternoon argues that employees' social media accounts should be monitored by the company. We couldn't agree more. Now let us start with a definition of social media, which can be defined as websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. Now the first thing the opening speaker and his colleague discussed is the vicarious liability of it all. Companies can and will be held accountable for the actions of their subordinates or employees. Now, whether that is applicable in the court of justice or in the court of life, what employees do while contracted can and will have negative effects on the company. Employers must ensure that the actions of their employees don't bring into disrepute the good name of the company, which in turn affects revenue generation and brand respect. We think it is important that employees and employers alike understand the far-reaching consequences of what employees do on social media websites and the kind of content they share, because that can in fact result and reflect on the balance sheets, and the companies don't want that. We rest our case.
All right. What?
Y'all should have seen Kalando's face.
I'm like, what is he reading? Where get this information from? How in a short space of time, a long time you feel away? That's the issue. You prepare a long time. So now let's hear from Odell, who is opposing the moot. When they're ready.
Jamaicans, my distinguished opponents, my team members, we stand here resolute that I could not disagree more that employees should not monitor the social media accounts for their workers. Social media can be defined as website application that enable users to create, share content to participate in social networking. My team and I believe on these three main points, that while we believe that the employees' social media page must not be monitored, 1, it is a breach of privacy. 2, it fosters and fosters mistrust. And 3, it breeds contempt. According to the United Kingdom Privacy and Human Rights Act of 1998, Articles 8 and 9 speaks to the respect of citizens to be able to have the right to privacy and to be able to be themselves outside of the workspace. Article 8 speaks to the right to respect for private life, family, home life, and correspondence. It also speaks in Article 10 to the right to the freedom of expression. My worthy opponent clearly states that the persons must be able to be monitored for their brand and to ensure the company's brand is maintained. It is what someone does in their private life is not that of the company. What the company does is therefore. Thank you.
All right. All right, so then we go to the next speaker directly. So now we hear from Markland, and they couldn't agree more regarding the moot employees' social media accounts should be monitored. The judges are there. They're going to tell you to look there, listen to the judge, and then you go when they say.
Greetings, Jamaica, judges, adjudicators, and guests. Team Reniel and I couldn't agree more that employees should be monitored, their social media should be monitored, and here is why. The values of the company comes first. Employees are the images and the faces of their countries. So protecting the image and the vision of that company is of utmost importance. Damage to the company via salacious comments online, for example, can bring deleterious effects to that company, such as loss in revenue, loss in public favor, loss in international connections and human rights of the nations. For example, let's look back at 2016 during the Olympics when a certain company brought up that goldfish comment. I won't even have to go into any type of explanation as to what that is. Imagine the uproar that caused because of one person's wrongdoing. And naturally, comment was deleted. So what does that say? Our lead speaker of our opposing team said that freedom of speech is a right. Yes, we agree it is a right, but there must be a line. And we believe, Team Reniel and I, that keeping employees' social media in line is the best thing to do. Thank you.
All right.
What if judges are strong though?
Right?
Not even that 5 seconds over there, not the time.
Miguel, for the team that couldn't disagree more to the moot that employee social media accounts should be monitored, it's your turn. Turn to the judges, await their instructions, and begin.
Start. Thank you so much. All protocols observed. My teammates and I could not disagree more that employee social media account should be monitored. For it breeds contempt, and at the root of it, you are disrupting the work culture when we do this. So we look at the company culture as the synergy that exists within the workplace in order for every team member and every part to work effectively in order to bring about the results or objective that the company has set out to accomplish. Morale takes a nosedive as the fear of constantly being watched is ever present, and team members find that they cannot trust one another if they're constantly being watched. If that's the workplace you're trying to build, then I don't want to work with you nor for you. We now have to think, when does work end? Is anybody truly contractually obligated to police their leisure time in order to facilitate someone else's lack of a contingency? So a dysfunctional workplace, we know from Forbes, is very expensive. It's time consuming and exhausting. We find that when you disrupt the freedom of speech, when you constantly debilitate the space, you will ultimately fall apart. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's give them a round of applause, because I found that to be very refreshing that they could find these points in such a short space of time and cite research and have quotes to pull up and all of that. I mean, obviously they're pros at this thing. I'm very, very impressed with that. Congratulations, gentlemen. Now we hear from the judges if the scores can be tabulated as quickly as they were able to go do them research and all. But the judge them look like them are stretch it out.
You know,
right? Okay, there's still some debate going on. How did that come? Somebody tell. How did you guys? Obviously, there is some form to how you get the content ready for the debate, because you went for your definitions, you kind of outline your points, and what was that like for you? Good practice?
You brought back anxiety. You have no idea. You brought back a lot of anxiety, man.
Not my goal, but carry
on. But yeah, it's something we have grown accustomed to. So even the 1 minute, it was less than what we're accustomed to preparing. And so we have to figure out what we're going to do from now and basically by cutting down the time, you cut down the amount of decision making that the brain had to do. So the analysis paralysis that would normally happen is gone.
Okay.
So we had to be decisive in what we're going to talk about, because even now, half of what I just said is not even on the phone, right? It's
That's good. That's so you were able to just do that based on your debating training. So that's like muscle memory happening, just figuring out how to make your points so that you
Right.
Who do you think won?
You see me here, right?
Yeah,
I won.
but I asked you to.
I won. I won.
Okay.
I won. I'm not gonna.
He's like, do you see me here?
Right? Like
I won.
What are you asking?
all right. Let's hear from the judges. You can go in the other seat now. Let's hear from the judges. So Raquel, who is the experienced debater, according to her, self-professed.
I am.
What's your background in debating?
I've been debating prep school, primary school, high school. I just stopped in college because I was doing so many other things.
Oh,
So
You want to recruit her?
okay. So
I've been actually pulled from class to judge debates for other classes
she really
in
is
high
the
school.
debating.
So yeah.
Don't
All right.
disbelieve
So
her. Carry on.
we gave a point each for each strong point, each reference and definition, right? And 4 gave 2 references each, and
Who's 4? Oh, they as in
Re-
couldn't agree more.
yes.
That's Renil
for
and Mark.
yes, Ren and Mark gave 2 references each, 1 definition, but their point was repeated. So it was just an explanation of the same point.
Okay.
All right. Against gave 3 references, 1 definition, and they had 2 solid points. So
The ones couldn't disagree more. They won.
yes,
Okay, that's Miguel and Odell.
yes. So Miguel and
I
Odell.
suppose he was right. So congratulations to Miguel and Odell arguing on employees' social media accounts should be monitored. They couldn't disagree more. I actually thought that the point you made at the end about when does work end, you know, like my private life and so, I thought, although I agree that they should be monitored as a personal view, I think there needs to be somewhere in the middle. There needs to be some
Balance.
Guidance.
Yeah.
You think
Just
so?
well, especially if you're a particular type of representative for the company, I think some of that should be.
Especially
Should
depends on
be.
the type of company as well. Especially if it's a
Correct.
company where, as the employees, your faces are out there, your lives are out there representing the company.
Right.
Yes.
Because this idea that and then when work done, me gone, that would have been okay if there wasn't this continuous representation of self that social media does,
Yeah.
and so you become part of the business, and therefore there's a shared risk.
And then you become the brand.
Yes,
Right.
so there's a shared risk that if something happens, what are your thoughts?
I have no
Listen,
thoughts.
after 5 o'clock, Shivani,
Right.
don't tell me.
Don't come in.
No. I think it's you know what, that might have been okay at some point, but I think the way that social media and the way our lives are blended, especially if somebody uses social media a lot.
And the weight of social media.
Correct. The way we blend our lives, like I'm not a heavy social media user, so there would be nothing to police on my side, right? But I can see how we're going to need to be able to create some parameters around which. No, I don't think that company should be able to dictate everything, but I think there should be some agreements.
At least have it
About-
where the code of conduct in the office is expected. So if it is expected that you behave a particular way around your coworkers and in the building, then when you go on the road, maintain the same. Especially if you're
Well-
branded, especially if you're
Right. So
As I say-
there may be rules around company brand, like when you are wearing company brand, even if it's work, even if you're outside of work, or stuff, people can leave work and go somewhere, but you're branded. There may have to be some rules about that and I think it's both sides. The employee must have some expectations of the business as well.
Exactly. Yes.
You know, and can sue you if you do something that affect my brand, because you're going like employee and have brand, right? So
you are your brand.
it's interesting. It's a debate that at some point we're going to need to make a proper decision about. Thank you very much, Davio and Siobhan, for taking care of things on the other side. Thank you, judges, for coming. And gentlemen, congratulations again. And I look forward to hearing the results of Zurich, and that you've once again given Jamaica a gold medal. So not just athletes can do it, but you can do it too, even if nobody cares about your debating. Because I'm thinking, are we sitting down thinking there's a debating team for Jamaica out there somewhere in Zurich, and this gives me joy.
We like to hear winners. One thing about Jamaicans, we like to hear that we're winning.
Right. So if you're winning, then that's
Yeah.
good. Tell me about it.
I mean,
I probably won't watch the debate on TV though.
Right.
But he's telling us to leave. Anyway,
time.
goodbye.
You gotta be a judge and say time.
Well, I was trying to give him the signal to skedaddle. He decided to tell the world.
All right. Well, goodbye.
What's up this weekend?
Oh, today's what?
It's Friday. Relay for Life is tomorrow.
Okay,
That's-
that's like an
that's-
early morning thing when I will be in my bed.
No, it's evening.
It's night.
6
yeah.
p.m.
Oh, that's
6
the
p.m.
cool
to
one.
6 a.m. Yeah.
That's the cool one where the night there's no sun to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to deal with other things. Where is it gonna be?
Police Officers Club.
Oh, I see them set up, but where are they gonna run? Because I see lots of tents.
No, you do laps.
Yes, but they're all I'm seeing on the field when I was coming down is tents.
Right, so you walk.
You walk around the
You
tents.
walk around the tent.
And the track is on the
Right, so the
outside.
tents are on the inside and the track is on the outside.
Why do you need tents at night?
Because people be camping. People be there all night. Sleeping, playing domino and all sort of thing. Exciting. You've never gone?
I've heard of, but never.
Oh.
I don't normally do
Yes,
those.
I thought if people plan to bring Krispy Kreme, if you're
I heard Krispy
I mean,
Kreme.
the
I was
People plan to bring Krispy Kreme.
Oh.
What is it? Krispy Kreme flashbacks. You were one of those?
Oh, you
Oh, I never understood it.
Up to
Like
last night, Miss
Saturday.
Line.
Yeah.
That's
You were
crazy.
there Saturday? Oh my God.
You're one of those.
You exactly like I feel so completely let down and disappointed to know that
One of our team
someone
members.
who is possibly within my proximity could do something like that. Go and
Can you imagine?
on his TV, in his
proximity,
proximity.
man. Like I mean,
Because we expect better.
could possibly
Wow.
do something like that. Go
You need
there
to
on Saturday.
associate with me.
Oh my
You see, this is why you have to monitor your socials.
I mean, you need really and say unfollow immediately. Like, please,
Personal time.
it's personal time
Yeah.
has caused me immense
Crazy.
embarrassment.
It's embarrassing
My
my
association, right?
Wow.
Say, what unfollow is what we have to do. So, did you get through?
I did.
After how many hours?
It's because of the structure of how they set up the line.
Wait a second. Don't tell me the reason. Just tell me after how many hours.
Time.
After
Give us
how
a
many
time. 2
did you
hours,
get
3
through?
hours, what?
An hour.
Wow.
You
You
waited
waited
an
an
hour.
hour for donuts.
It could have been lesser.
You know how? Do you know how many time? How many productive things you could be
get
up
done
to
in an hour.
rather than stand in line?
Home, you know?
You are heading home and
could have finished
decided to
your scripts
go
earlier.
and
Yeah, but it could have
Okay.
been- As I said, it could have been lesser. It's because outside they were serving only dozen at the window. The
Okay.
drive-through window. They didn't
How
tell
much-
us that
how
they
much-
were near to the
how many
window.
did you buy?
Just 6.
Okay.
Half a dozen.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Shivani's telling us we need to go.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
Let me just listen to
So
you.
if you're grabbing Krispy Kreme this weekend,
But it's always
So-
full now.
it is.
I went there today,
Always
and it
full.
was just ridiculous at 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. People don't work.
Okay, bye.
This message will self-destruct.
You may now disengage.
Rise with the sun and face the day with some Lasco instant chocolate. Pull a pack, stir it up. Hot or cold, enjoy the chocolatey goodness any time of the day and unleash instant smiles, instant happiness.
6:45, folks, on the Sound of Love.
101.7